All right, let's check. I'm gonna react to parts of this video. I think the fallacies are very obvious. But let's start.
So let's talk about things that we should hate. All right, that guy hates your guts. Here's things we should hate: people who cancel elections, right? People who lock up journalists, people who kill journalists, people who forcibly conscript their own population.
You're talking about
And
Putin.
There it is, straight away. You're talking about Putin. This is a fallacy called too woke, which is basically like it's appeal to hypocrisy, or like saying like you too. It's a fallacy because it doesn't matter. Like, okay, maybe Putin does the same thing, but that doesn't matter. It's like, uh, you punch me in the face. Like, okay, but you punch me too. Like, okay, so we both did the same thing. That doesn't contradict the claim. So, for example, uh, you should not be eating that. It has been scientifically proven that eating fat burgers are not good for your health. Then the other person says, you eat fat burgers all the time, so that can't be true. That doesn't matter. It's like, if I say smoking is bad and somebody says, but you smoke, like, so what? I mean, that doesn't matter. So even if Putin does the same things, that doesn't matter. But uh, another name for this is whataboutism. Like, oh yeah, like United States also invaded a country. Like, yes, so like that doesn't matter. So here, Piers Morgan is trying to deflect and saying like, okay, Zelensky did all these things, but so did Putin. Like, okay, so what?
And people who
Is that Vladimir
cancel
Putin you're talking about?
entire church, who shut down churches, right?
Is that Vladimir Putin you're talking about?
Piers.
And in fact, I mean, that's not true. Like, Putin didn't close churches. It's only Zelensky. So it's not even true. But even if it was true, doesn't matter.
See, this is the difference between me and the homie you just had on here. I think Putin's a scumbag dictator. I'm not here to argue for Putin, but I ain't here to argue for Zelensky either. One wrong doesn't make a right. One right doesn't make it. Just because it's like one guy's a scumbag doesn't mean you have a right to also behave exactly like a dictator. Which is
Exactly. So that's the counter. Like, yeah, two wrongs don't make one right. Like, two people can engage in the same bad behavior. So it doesn't matter if Putin is doing the same things as Zelensky, it's still wrong that Zelensky is doing it.
Which is what Zelensky's done. Cancel What happened to the elections, Piers? Why did Zelensky cancel the election?
I'll tell you what happened.
Okay, so that's one part. The other part, I think, is around here.
On this, and it's a very important point, is that we've been lied to, right? You get lied to that war is about one side being all the devils and one side being the angels.
I agree with
that.
that.
And the truth about war, Piers, is that most of the time, both sides are devils.
I agree.
Okay. I don't think that's necessarily true, but let's give the benefit of the doubt and say that both sides, Ukraine and Russia, are doing wrong things. Okay.
Well, I don't think both sides. Oh no, I don't think
the best you can ask for is an ugly peace instead of a hot, bloody war. And yes, I agree with you, my brother from another mother across the pond. I agree with you, Piers, that the killing should end and the dying should end.
Okay, Gillian,
I'd say Zelensky is a dictator.
He's not. Putin's a dictator, but
once again, Putin is a dictator. Okay, like, if you actually look at at sources, that doesn't seem to be the case, but even if we suppose that's the case, that doesn't matter. Like, even if Putin is a dictator, that doesn't change the fact that Zelensky is a dictator. He's behaving exactly in the same way as a dictator would.
Gillian, final word to you.
Maybe they're both dictators.
Okay.
There it is. Yeah, maybe they are both dictators. It's that simple. And I don't understand why Piers Morgan keeps doing this, like putting this, putting that. Like, that's irrelevant to the bad things that Zelensky has been doing. But it's effective, right? You just attacked Putin, that shifts the blame from Zelensky to Putin, and that's assuming that it's black and white. Only one side can be wrong, but that's not true. Both sides could be wrong. It's actually, the fallacy is pretty obvious. All right, that's it.